Patriotic comrades, by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how a popular party promoter ended up with one of the harshest fraud sentences we've seen in years, and why this case may expose way more than anyone expected. What investigators discovered in 2017 is wild. And wait till you hear what happened during this arrest. So patriotic comrades, today we're unpacking the shocking, dramatic, and honestly movie-worthy saga of Andrew Wright, former INSPORTS financial controller, well-known party promoter, and now a man sentenced to 10 years and 7 months at hard labor for his role in a massive $226 million fraud scheme. Meet Andrew Wright, corporate accountant by day, party promoter by night, staging events like Chug It and French Connection. Basically, a man with range. But every good story needs a problem. The problem, according to the court, fraudulent checks were allegedly being created and encashed, payments going to people who didn't work for INSPORTS, never touched INSPORTS, and possibly didn't even know INSPORTS existed. And when auditors took one look in 2017, they probably said something like, "My boss, something right." This triggered a referral to MOCA, and when MOCA steps in, you already know the vibes. The justice system, with prosecutors led by Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Alexa McDonald and Crown Counsel Dwayne Houston. After a year-long trial, the verdict dropped faster than a dancehall rhythm. Andrew Wright, guilty. Co-accused Rudolph Barnes, guilty. Co-accused O'Neill Hope, guilty. 3 female co-defendants acquitted. But sentencing, that's where things get even spicier. So I could get into more fine-tuned details with those 3 female co-defendants that were acquitted. So the 3 female co-defendants are Andrea Picton, Shireen Farquharson, and Jonique Miller were acquitted of all charges, including conspiracy and corruption. Picton and Farquharson had both served as accounting clerks at INSPORTS, while Mills had also faced several charges before being cleared. Justice Anne-Marie Lawrence Granger lays out the numbers. So Andrew Wright is to serve 10 years and 7 months for each count, hard labor. Co-accused Rudolph Barnes is to serve 1 year and 4 months for conspiracy. Co-accused O'Neill Hope is to serve 2 years and 10 months for corruption. And all of these sentences will be run concurrently, meaning he, Andrew Wright, serves the longest one. This is where most viewers pause the video and scroll back like, wait, hard labor? Yes, hard labor, as in old school Jamaican penal system energy. Meanwhile, Wright's legal team was not amused. Attorney Alexandra Labec, who represented him alongside Comrade Isat Buchanan, said the outcome was very disappointing and shocking. Translation: Your Honor, we didn't see that coming. And if you think the appeal plans stop there, Attorney Stephen Jackson, representing Barnes, basically said, "It is what it is until my client decides it's not what it is. Appeals are coming. tension is building. And here's the kicker. Wright was arrested while attending the Industrial Disputes Tribunal in a completely different case. Imagine being at one hearing and getting pulled for another one. So what does this mean? This case isn't just one man. It's a spotlight shining on structural weaknesses, accountability gaps, and all internal systems that practically invited fraud like a VIP list at a party. And with appeals incoming, this story is not over. The fallout could be bigger than the initial sentencing. If the appeals overturn anything, it reshapes the conversation. If they fail, it sends a message loud enough to echo across every agency boardroom. The selectors of checks must face the music, with or without Chug It. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Quick recap. Andrew Wright sentenced to 10 years and 7 months at hard labor. Fraud scheme valued at 226 million Jamaican dollars. Case uncovered during 2017 audit involved fraudulent checks to non-employees. 3 co-defendants acquitted. Wright arrested during unrelated tribunal appearance. Appeals expected. Case signals deeper agency oversight issues. Do you think the sentence was too harsh, too light, or just right? Drop your take in the comments below. I'm reading every comment. Patriotic comrades, the reason why former INSPORTS financial controller and party promoter Andrew Wright was sentenced to 10 years and 7 months at hard labor for his role in the multi-million-dollar fraud scheme at the state-run agency is because he is the mastermind. That's why him get the biggest sentence. He was the financial controller at INSPORTS. Cause me remember when Chug It and French Connection, the hot party they come bout. The whole time Andrew Wright was the party promoter for then 2 big party there. So apparently we don't know if or allegedly he was washing the money through the party. Cause them party they a big party. Them party they not cheap. Them party they never cheap. Them Chug It and them French Connection there. Him being the party promoter, me can tell us that those party were expensive. Them the advertisement there are run pan zip, round clock. And if anybody know about paying for advertisement, commercial advertisement on mainstream radio station, then 30-second ads there are gonna cost you one whole heap of money, you know, cheap. Worse if a super hype 007 I do the voiceover for the ads them, and if I remember correctly a super hype do the ads them, and if you pay them and if you do the voiceover it will cost you. So he need to spend big money if you keep Chug It and French Connection, because quick money he make, you know. He might hustle quick money out of INSPORT. $226 million fraud. And he my top man. So when MOCA investigate and say about all of them checks here we get right out to people who not even work at INSPORT, and this was revealed during a 2017 audit. So him as the top man, the financial controller for INSPORT, you tell me say him no realize say $226 million get spent from the account of INSPORTS. 226 million where I go raise alarm when the yearly audit come round. Them money a top chopper, them money a mish, them money a suit and tie chopper. But you can't expect anything different. Andrew name, you know. Him is another craven A, another cravenest of A's. Andrew, what you expect? So Andrew Wright is represented by Isat Buchanan and Alexandra Labec, who described the outcome as very disappointing and shocking. Nothing that their client plans to appeal. Well, for you know, I sat the penny. Appeal have to be part of it. But it always surprised me when lawyers, when no say then client guilty, have to come out, come make the PR speech, say, oh, I'm very disappointing and I find the results shocking. Now you damn well know your client guilty, but lawyers will be liars. So make we compare and contrast Andrew Wright, where his fraud is to the amount of 226 million Jamaican dollars. Zine at INSPORTS. No, this trial was like a year. Zine, and we see justice is being served. Zine, we see this man get sentenced to 10 years and 7 months at hard labor, along with his 2 other co-accused where they find guilty as well. Them get lesser sentence because they were just the pawns and the minions. But it's funny how Royal Reed case and trial with that $50 million will vanish at the Caribbean Maritime University. Royal Reed case I get drawn out to the point where it look like say them out for bust the case or them out just walk scot-free, because the next hearing for Royal Reed case will be in February 2026 next year. That's our next court date. So the difference is when you're a politician, former education minister like a Royal Reed, your case is very much different from one ordinary citizen, because Andrew Wright is an ordinary citizen. Andrew Wright is not a politician, and you see how quick him get sentenced to 10 years and 7 months hard labor. So how when we find politicians with money we're missing and them a go court back and forth, why them can't get sentenced so quick? Because based on what it would appears, Royal Reed and his co-accused, they figure prison. But it's just the difference when you're a politician and your party is in power. Your outcome is going to be very much different from an ordinary citizen like Andrew Wright, where 226 million get missing under his watch and him get charged and found guilty and him get sentenced. Look how easy, look how simple. So this scheme was uncovered during a 2017 internal audit, which prompted a referral to the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA. So following an extensive investigation, arrests were made, including Andrew Wright in April 2023, while he appeared before the Industrial Disputes Tribunal in an unrelated wrongful dismissal matter. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay ahead of the bigger political and corruption stories shaping Jamaica right now, hit subscribe, tap like, and watch the next video on screen. Trust me, it's even more explosive.